everybody. Welcome to the Mom and Dad Cuss a Little podcast, the show where nothing is made up. And
the points don't matter.
And the points really don't matter. This is a show where my husband and I talk about our experiences raising four mostly insane little boys and trying to survive through that. We also talk about our marriage, which can be fun.
And since we missed that part, I'm Adam.
And I'm Rihanna. Welcome to the show, everyone.
This is what happens when we don't write the intro this week.
Who needs a written intro?
I think we do, apparently.
Whatevs.
So, how are you doing this week, dear?
I'm so stressed. I'm always stressed. It's like, I don't know, it's part of who I am.
I know, stress is your security blanket.
It really is. No, it's just we're busy at work. We're busy at home. We're broke.
We're always broke.
The huge.
Yeah.
You know.
And then, there's that whole four boys thing.
Yeah. How are you?
Stressed.
Yeah.
Then we get kind of the same thing. Like, busy, but not, but there's like, we're basically, I guess the we're broke thing right now is more on account of we've just been, like you've heard, we've been sick. And my back injuries and our trips and all this stuff.
Oh gosh.
It's just kind of suddenly caught up to us.
Yeah, it finally caught up. I knew it was gonna, and I knew it was gonna suck when it did, and boy does it.
Yeah.
Like, it really does. But, like everybody always says, we'll figure it out. Yeah. God, I hate that. Oh, you'll figure it out. You'll get through it. Fuck you. No, I'll have to fucking stay up late and cry my eyes out and...
You shouldn't do that. You need your eyes to see.
And beg, borrow, and steal and,
Don't talk about stealing. We went through this with the FBI thing last week.
Sorry.
We just barely got them off our
Nobody can prove anything.
Oh,
this is true.
Internet.
We'll edit that out later. Ugh, but... We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I guess. Famous last words.
But, yeah, for me, on my side, it's more of this time of year work is a pain in the ass just because it's fucking hot.
For you, yeah. This time of year work is a pain in the ass for me because it's our busy season. And if our dear listenership recalls, I work in the student loan industry, which is fucking fantastic. Especially when it's busy and people are like, I need my loan tomorrow. I'm like, well, you're an idiot. It's not going to happen.
You should have applied 6 months ago.
Like, it doesn't take 6 months, but...
Well, then you would have had the money if you'd applied 6 months ago.
Exactly. But still.
You should have been prepared.
You get this whole entitlement generation that's like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. And I don't fucking want to fucking deal with fucking fuck.
Yeah. Exactly. I want to fucking deal with fucking fuck.
So that's my
Mental
work
note,
week.
Make sure to check the explicit tag on this episode.
That's my work week in a nutshell.
Fucking fuck.
Fucking fuck.
That is your work week.
Oh man. But on the plus side,
fuck
we do have a game plan to kind of get back on our feet, get reestablished. Yeah. It's never fun, but we'll get there.
Yeah. But
I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Can I ask you a question? I don't know if we're allowed to
really?
do that.
Okay, we've mentioned that before that we watch Drag Race. So.
Oh God, I love RuPaul's Drag Race.
Drag Race.
Drag.
Okay.
Race.
I went and did something about my speech impediment issue for the evening.
I have not had enough caffeine. There's not enough caffeine in the world right now. There's a supply shortage somewhere, I'm sure.
There's a pot of coffee over there. I know.
I'm working on it. With whipped cream and chocolate chips and everything. No, we watch Drag Race, and I love drag queens. I think they're fantastic. One of my friends is a drag queen. And one of the pretty up there, I would say, names from the RuPaul's Drag Race is Alaska, and she does this segment before the finale of every season, or I guess since her season, where she goes backstage to the other queens and she's like, "Can I ask you a question?" And she has this horrible Valley Girl voice, but it's like a man's voice doing Valley Girl. Hilarious. So
most Valley girls sound like men anyway.
Generally. So, can I
oh
ask
my god.
you a question? What do you think is the appropriate approach for this generation that we are raising
Uh-oh.
in regards to video games or screen time or technology, I guess? What do you think is an appropriate allowance? And do we agree on the subject?
See, I'm a bad example.
Because you play Skyrim all day, every day.
Yeah, because apparently, according to the boys and according to you, I play Skyrim all day, every day.
From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep at night.
Yeah, forget the kids. It's just all Skyrim 24 hours a day.
Yeah. That's what they've said.
That's what they say, apparently.
And I mean, it's like 4-1 at this point. I gotta believe them.
Yeah. They want me to play Skyrim all the time. That's what it is. They want to see me ride around on an undead horse and
Of course they
and
do.
fight dragons. That's what they want to see. That's a lot more interesting than watching
you fall asleep on the couch.
They don't watch me fall asleep. I send them to their nap time before I fall asleep.
Oh, that's right. They go do shit and fuck shit up while you fall asleep on the couch. Fluffy, fuck off.
This week we haven't had cat interference in a while, so
We're overdue.
we're overdue for cat interference. And it's more that she's just messing with stuff adjacent.
But what do you think is the appropriate allotment?
Now, talking like from a video game perspective or from like a general screen time perspective?
All of it. What do you think? Because I think there are. So, the American Association of Pediatrics recommends no more than 2 hours of screen time a day, and that includes everything.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's so realistic with this generation.
Yeah, that hasn't been realistic since I was a kid.
Right?
Like, when I was a kid, that was entirely realistic. It was probably more like, if you average out, it was probably like 2 hours, because it basically, it's like before school, we didn't watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
We got up, we ate breakfast, if I watched TV in the morning, it was because I woke up at like 5 a.m. to watch Mr. Wizard and Rocky and Bullwinkle, and I probably fell asleep after that.
Ooh, let's date ourselves.
Yeah, I know. But I'd watch Mr. Wizard and Rocky and Bullwinkle on Nickelodeon, back when Rocky and Bullwinkle were on Nickelodeon. And I was actually waking up before Mom, and Mom worked in a hospital, and she was up at like 5:30. But I would get up, watch that, make coffee for Mom. She'd get up. And I'd probably fall asleep on the couch. But other than that, we didn't watch TV before school. We got up, we got ready for school, we went to school. And after school, we came home and we watched Tiny Toons and Animaniacs and got ready for dinner. And if we watched TV after that,
If we ate.
There were 6 of us. Sometimes if we ate.
It was questionable.
Oh, I'm sorry, there's not enough food for all of you today. We were not that poor. We were not Charlie Bucket, nothing goes better with cabbage than cabbage. That wasn't us. There were a lot of days Mom made a lot of shit that I didn't want to eat, but that's because I was kind of a picky eater, and Mom was one of those moms who would force us to try and eat stuff that
was a picky eater? Oh, honey, that has carried over into adulthood.
You are much more picky about stuff than I am.
Not.
I can't make fried chicken because you don't like anything with bones in it.
No, it's got bones and veins and
anything with a bone in it, she won't eat. So I can't make decent fried chicken. I can't.
No, you can't.
You wouldn't know. You've never had it.
Okay.
In all of my cooking ability, I am not permitted to make fried chicken. Because somebody...
Yet you refuse to attempt chicken fried steak.
No, I've tried and failed multiple times at chicken fried steak. I gave up. I gave up chicken fried steak. I will admit it. I am not a native Texan. I am not very good with chicken fried steak. I'll admit it.
I love chicken fried steak. Anyway, so
but
when I was a kid,
you were sheltered as hell.
I really was.
You read books. You didn't ever watch TV.
No, not really. I didn't. The TV was on in the morning when we got up, but it was on the news.
Yeah.
When I came home, we would watch Home Improvement before dinner, and then we'd eat. And then usually the news, I mean, okay, keep in mind, people, I had the local channels, so like, what is it, 3, 6, 10, and 16? Like ABC, PBS, whatever.
CBS, NBC,
NBC.
Fox, that's it.
Those are the only stations that we had.
And and remember, everybody, back when we were kids, like, CW was like the first of those channels, and it wasn't even CW, it was the WB was like the first channel outside of those core, your ABC, CBS, NBC.
Didn't have.
WB came out when I was like 10.
Yeah.
But it was those core ABC, CBS, NBC.
Yeah, I mean,
PBS,
I didn't even have, like.
Back in the VHF, UHF days.
Yeah. Like, there were a couple of times when I would stay with my mom where we had cable, so I could watch stuff on Nickelodeon and I could watch stuff on, Disney. Yeah. Other than that, unless I was at school, I didn't really watch anything. Mm-hmm. So there wasn't a whole lot of screen time there. But when I was 5, my first, like, actual birthday present was my Super Nintendo and my Quasar TV. That lasted until I was like 20.
Because we got rid of that TV. We had that TV when you got married.
To you.
When you got married. Yeah.
When I got married, yeah.
You had that TV when we got married. Let's switch some terms around. Yeah.
Pronouns.
Yeah, terms. Let's switch some numbers.
Not numbers.
Yeah.
Pronouns.
Fuck. That TV died after we got married.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we gave that to your brother.
And he killed it.
Yeah. So that TV...
And it was used when we got it.
Yeah. Didn't it have like a VCR built in or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a built-in VCR, so it was like, the shit back then.
Yeah.
It eventually grew up to eat tapes and you couldn't put anything in it, but... Whatever.
Total side note. Apparently the last company still producing VCRs officially folded, this week.
That's sad.
It was like some Chinese company that in the US they distributed them as Sanyo. But they were the last. Sense. Yeah, I was like, but they officially folded this week. There is nobody else producing VCRs anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when I was a kid, I had my Quasar, I had my Super Nintendo, and like a handful of games.
Yeah. Which we still have somewhere. So for me, there wasn't a whole lot of screen time. Like, I would go to my room and I would read my books and do my homework, whatever, and I would just kind of stay in my room. And occasionally I would play my games. Yeah. So for me, it probably evened out to about 2 hours a day of like actual real life screen time. Yeah.
And then we had computer lab at school where we actually learned how to use the computer, and we did like those, what were they?
Like typing tests.
Jumpstart. It was like the games, like Jumpstart first grade and Jumpstart third grade, whatever.
We had just the computers when I was first in class. They barely had color screens, so we had like color screens in the games.
Yeah,
like it was all typing programs, just straight like here, copy this line and then whatever.
No, we had like fun stuff like Midnight Rescuer and the Jumpstart games.
Yeah, if you finished your typing lesson, there was Oregon Trail and I think. And Solitaire and Minesweeper. Because, everybody has Minesweeper and Solitaire.
In high school, when I was in my BCIS class, Business Computer Information Systems, whatever.
Wow, you remembered because I couldn't fucking remember.
I think that's what it was.
I know the class was. Like, I don't fucking remember.
I think that's what it was. It's where I learned all, how to use the Microsoft Office suite.
Yeah, it's basically it. The entire class devoted, here's how you use all of the Microsoft Office suite, and you're going to forget this in another year.
Basically. No, but I do use my Excel knowledge to this day. But if we were done...
your spreadsheets.
I really do. If we were done with our work, we could play pinball. Because we had pinball on... Do you remember that? When like they upgraded and came out with pinball? Oh,
no, we didn't have pinball.
It was like the thing.
In my class, they were kind of idiots, and they were... different students were dumb and would sit there and send direct messages to each other across the room, forgetting that every single message went through the teacher's computer. So, like, basically every single message that was sent out bounced through his computer. So you're like, stop sending messages. I get every single one of them.
Oh, jeez. Idiot.
And it's not like you can cheat in a computer class.
Yeah.
But still.
So I think that the American Association of Pediatrics recommendation of 2 hours is very outdated.
Yeah.
I think that for our generation, it was great because we were the ones learning all of this technology.
Yeah,
we were the ones basically raising all of this technology.
Yeah. It's like we didn't have, like, cable was new. He said, I watched Nickelodeon.
The internet was new.
We had one TV in the house that had cable. Like, I'll admit, I had a TV in my room. Sisters had a TV in their room. We had, Arizona, dual living spaces. So we had one TV, like the main family room had the cable. And the other front living room area where most of the kids were, that's where our Super Nintendo was on this old, and rabbit ears box, like wooden frame box TV. That's where we watched our TV. Knobs.
Yep.
Hard click, adjust the antenna TV.
Very poltergeist.
And, if you ever read the instructions with the Super Nintendo, it told you not to play for more than 2 hours at a time. And
because it would overheat the system.
And so our dad sure as hell kept to that because they spent over $500 on this system way back when it was brand new.
Oh wow, we didn't buy one brand new.
Yeah, ours was brand new.
Mine was secondhand. I think we got my TV and the Nintendo at a pawn shop.
Yeah, so we had our hour of Animaniacs and Tiny Toons in the afternoon, and if we were allowed to play video games, which we had to ask. And it was a big open communal room anyway, so it's not like we could hide it.
Right.
But if we did play video games, we only had maybe an hour and a half that we were allowed to play at a time.
Yeah.
So.
But I think that recommendation for our generation was great.
Yeah, it worked. And it was reasonable because you didn't have the overabundance of screens that you do now.
Right. Now, everything is digitalized.
Yeah. Everything's connected. Everything's computerized. Everything. Yeah.
To the point where it's almost not fair to deprive your kids of that. But at the same time, you don't want your kids turning into those mindless zombies that, your 2-year-old has their own iPad.
Yeah.
Exactly. I am not a fan of that. If that's your kind of parenting, then
yeah, fine, that's you.
Whatever floats your boat, I guess.
You do you.
You do you, but it's not something that I support. Yeah. I'm not going to say, oh, that's such a great idea, because I don't think it is.
No, not to say that your kid doesn't need to know how to use, because they're going to steal your phone, they're going to find your whatever. They're probably going to figure it out. And realistically, these things are designed to be intuitive. Mm-hmm. So a kid sitting there picks up your phone while you're in the bathroom, or picks up the phone while you're doing laundry or something. They're going to sit there and figure shit out. Mm-hmm. And they're probably going to dick with all your settings because, kids.
And delete your email.
And delete your emails. And
move your fucking app to the other side of the fucking... I hate that shit. Like, where the fuck did it... Oh, there it is.
Or you're gonna
get back.
Or suddenly your home screen's not gonna be your home screen, or
yeah.
I don't know how many times I get that. But they're designed to be intuitive in such a way that a 2-year-old can dick with your phone and can do stuff.
Serious damage.
And if they recognize the icon on your screen for being a game.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, Pokemon. I have to call them out because...
And it's right there on my home screen and everything. Because yes, I am a Pokemon goer? Trainer?
You're a
person?
you're a
Poke person?
You're a Pokemon goer, I think, because you're specifically Pokemon Go.
Do we have a name yet? I need to know if we have a name.
I'm so glad I'm not one of you. I'm just gonna say you're a Pokemon goer because you are strictly a Pokemon Go person.
Hashtag Team Mystic.
I'm so glad I don't care. But you didn't play the games. You didn't.
No.
Like, you never played any of the games. You didn't play the cards. You didn't collect any of that stuff.
My little brother was really into Pokemon. My little brother was really into Pokemon. So I would watch the cartoon with him.
Yeah, I watched it too because brothers. But
exactly. Yeah. But, I mean, I wasn't like, oh, it's Pokemon. Cards and shit. No. Oh. That's what everybody sounds like. Cards and shit, But, yeah, I mean, the boys recognize every app on my home screen. They know what the Facebook app is. Yeah. They know where Pokemon Go is. They can find Candy Crush on my phone. Candy Rush. They know where everything is. And like I said, to an extent, it's unfair to deprive them of that because then they aren't going to be caught up to the level of their peers when it comes to technology. You need to know, for perfect example,
exist nowadays, you have to know how to use these devices.
Exactly. Well, perfect example is my job. We onboard 100 and something people every year for our peak season. And every year for our peak season, we onboard people from the older generation because we are a, equal opportunity employer.
For those of us out of the industry, that means they hire people. Technical terms.
On board, yes. Sorry.
They're not getting people on a boat.
I'm on a boat. Sorry.
I was going to go with a train thing or whatever, but okay.
So we get people from the older generation that aren't really good with computers. And that's really a huge setback because in my department specifically, we've got 3 computer screens that we're dealing with about 20 different programs running at once.
That takes a hell of a lot of computer power.
Sorry,
nerd comes in and was like, fuck, that takes a lot of processing power.
No, it really does. And our processors can't handle it. It's unfortunate.
It starts slagging. It's just like every time you call customer service or for anything or whatever, everybody's having computer trouble because the jobs are getting so tech heavy now that the computers themselves can't keep up.
Well, our computers will actually, all 3 screens will blink out. And then when they finally blink back on, everything is switched from where you had it. So you've got to go find shit on this screen and drag it back to this. It's whatever. But the older generation is very difficult to teach just the basics of our job. You got to teach them the basics of here's how to do this on one screen. Okay, multiply. Yeah, and I mean it's not easy. They can't even navigate Internet Explorer. So it's like ugh.
I would say who still uses Internet Explorer, but I do on our laptop.
We have to. Yeah. Well, and our entire platform is Explorer based.
Explorer based, yeah.
So we have to operate with Internet Explorer, and it's hard watching these people who just don't get what a tab is.
Yeah, they don't understand the basics.
And it's like, holy shit. Which is why I think that it's not fair to deprive, the children, the generation that we are currently raising of that, because I see it every day. Yeah. It's like they need to know this to be functioning adults.
Yeah. And then, like I said, everything is so connected now and you have to, you're seeing the commercials for the damn smart refrigerators with the damn touchscreen computer crap.
See, I saw that and I was like, oh my God, I wonder how badly my children would ruin that.
I'm thinking they were talking about, this is like one of those, the refrigerator of the future. But yeah, that's like one of those videos you'd hear and things you'd see from when we were kids about, it's the refrigerator of the future. And in the future, you won't have to open your refrigerator door to see what's inside. And now they fucking made it.
Now they have it.
Now they made it. And
you know what else you can do to not have to see what's inside your refrigerator? Just tell your kid to go get it for you. That's what I do.
The point is to not open the refrigerator and let the cold air out.
Well,
Because, you know,
they'll
don't stand there with the refrigerator open. You're going to refrigerate the whole house.
I do not sound like that.
No, everybody's mother did.
Yeah.
And you know what? I know flat out my mom does not listen to this, so I'm cool.
Watch, this is going to be the one episode that she listens.
Fuck no.
Oh, man. But
she knows I swear, but she's not about to listen to a show that basically in the title advertises her son swearing all the time.
Right.
Not her cup of tea.
Does she drink tea?
I think so. Mom is on a very low caffeine thing and all that, so
But
decaf diet light white tea or whatever, I don't know.
I also don't want to be those parents whose kid has their own iPad, who has a cell phone at, second grade.
Yeah.
I'm not all about that.
Yeah, it's like they need to know how to use it. Flat. It's like, I think we agree. They need, just in modern times, everybody needs to know how to use a touchscreen computer based. Either you're using iOS or you're using Android. You have to know how to use a touchscreen computer something.
Yeah. Charlie knows how to pick up my phone and he can call you.
Yeah.
If he needed to, he knows how to pick up my phone and call you.
Yeah.
That's...
And I'm pretty sure in a pinch, Damien probably could too.
I'm sure. But I made sure that Charlie knows how to call you.
If there's an emergency, yes.
So outside of the games on my phone...
fried chicken and set yourself on fire.
I've done that.
I know, exactly. It's like I use that as an example. You called me in that instance, but...
I was able to call.
You
I
called
still
me,
had
but...
my arm attached.
Yeah.
I've got battle scars now.
Yeah.
But I made sure that was something that he could do outside of playing the games on my phone. Like, I know he can do that. Duh.
Everybody, Bug can play the games on your phone.
But I wanted to make sure that, at least one of them knows how to operate my phone. Just in case. Damien, the 4-year-old, wakes up at 2 a.m. and comes out here and gets on YouTube on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Which fucking...
I know.
But he only
looks
looks
up...
up...
unplugging, yeah. I know, he only looks up...
He only looks up his stuff, like cartoon shit, and what is it that they like that...
They can't see you dancing.
I know, I'm dancing. They do like
Facebook Live, watch you dancing. Mother Goose Club.
Yes.
Okay.
Like they sing.
Your dance had nothing to do with Mother Goose Club. I don't know.
Very Mother Goose. Whatever.
So here's the thing. We have actually talked about doing like Facebook Live stuff and like, oh, here's the behind the scenes of mom and dad cuss. No.
Okay, yeah, except the camera adds 10 pounds and I don't have 10 pounds for the camera to add. We're not doing that.
I was going to go with you're usually in pajamas. And,
I don't care.
And I don't think you would want to be, you would probably want to get dressed.
No.
Or somewhat assembled.
I'm not going to get dressed to stay in my house. If we're going to Facebook Live, I'm going to be in pajamas. I don't care.
You do when we have company.
No, I don't.
Sometimes. Depends on the company.
I put on pants. That's about it. And they're pajama pants.
With sheep.
Well, sometimes.
Sheep or birds. Anyway. But yeah, you have to be able to use all these devices. But at the same time, your kid doesn't have to have his own.
No.
And
no. I feel like it's reasonable. I understand why parents get cell phones for their kids, like in middle school, because the kids have like after school activities like sports or whatever clubs that they stay after for.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. Ish. That's when you get them like a prepaid.
Yeah.
Get them a cheap little fucking flip phone. Prepaid.
Do they still? I don't know. I remember they used to have that like kids cell phone where it had like 4 buttons on it.
Like 4 programmable buttons.
Yeah, it was like 911 and then like 3 programmable buttons for like mom and dad and whatever, or something. And that always made sense to me. It's like your kid doesn't need to fucking have anything on their phone other than the ability to call mom.
Yeah.
You need to call mom and big red button that's 911 in case of an emergency and you need police, fire, whatever.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, teach your kids your phone number.
Mm-hmm. Charlie knows our phone numbers.
Where the hell is your kid going at any age where they do not have the ability to call you from a phone nearby?
Yeah.
Where is your kid going by themselves?
Yeah. Well, and people say, oh, well, how is he supposed to get a hold of me? Okay, well, here, let me tell you. When I was in middle school, I was in 3 different youth groups. We went on trips all around Texas, overnight, week trips, weekend trips, over the fucking summer trips.
Yeah.
How did I get a hold of my parents? I took a fucking phone card with me. One of those, like...
back when prepaid phone cards. I don't even know if they still fucking make those.
And I found a payphone.
Back when there were payphones.
Or I found an adult who had a cell phone so that I could call my mom and dad and say, hey, we made it. I'm good. Good night.
Yeah.
I'll check in with you when we get close to home.
Yeah, and now every damn adult has a cell phone. So how's my kid gonna get a hold of me? Where the fuck is your kid by themselves?
Right.
They go, how are they gonna there should realistically be an adult within 50 feet of your kid who's probably got a fucking cell phone. Mm-hmm. And that kid should know your home phone or your cell phone if you don't have a home phone because you have a home phone, whatever. But
even then, if
the adult should know your fucking phone number if they're in charge of your kid.
Exactly. And if you are one of those people who are saying, oh, well, I want my kid to be able to get a hold of me whenever they want to get a hold of me. Okay, I get that, but why are you sending your kid on this trip if you feel that you can't trust them to go and be on this trip and be fully in it and be in the moment and not be on their phone the whole time?
Do I have a helicopter sound effect somewhere?
It's kind of helicopter parenting.
It's a digital leash. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Even if you're sitting there because realistically, who is going to give a cell phone to a 7-year-old and not enable the tracker?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, if we were the kind of parents who were dumb enough to give our 7-year-old a cell phone.
Oh, we would damn sure
have that tracker on 24/7 and to hell with the battery.
Yeah.
You're not walking anywhere without a GPS tag on your ass, mister. Mm-hmm. If we were ever going to give him a cell phone, which we wouldn't.
No. Not until, like I said, probably middle school, and middle school only if he's in after-school activities.
Yeah.
There's no other reason for him to have it.
I still go by. Like, when I was in high school, tons of kids had cell phones.
Yeah.
I didn't get my first cell phone. Straight up. I did not get my first cell phone until it wasn't even my senior. Not until the summer after I graduated. I got all the way through high school without a cell phone. And it was a fucking prepay.
Nice.
That I went half-ins with my stepmom. Because I was going on, it was like, my brother and I, at the time we were living in Texas, we came back here to visit our mom, while our 2 younger brothers and our dad and stepmom went to Disney World.
Nice.
That's actually where they actually bought the Durango for that trip.
Mm-hmm. I remember you told me.
But yeah, they went to Disney while we came back here, and so we bought that phone for us to have on that trip as an emergency thing.
Yeah. And prepaids, I'm totally, that's
this was a Virgin Mobile phone way back in the day.
Probably what the boys are going to have is like some Cricket prepaid, piece of crap phone. Because I remember when I got my first phone, it was junior year of high school, because I was in 3 youth groups and I was in academic decathlon with school.
Yeah.
So I was in 4 different things and I had a job.
Yeah.
So I kind of needed it, and for the longest time, my grandma was going to put me on her phone plan. And she was like, well, I'll just get you a pager. I'll get you a pager. That's not going to do me any good.
Anybody remember pagers?
Yeah, I know, right?
I know. Are you old enough to know what a pager is?
I sure am. And I was like, that's not going to do me any good because you can page me all day and tell me that you need to talk to me. If I don't have a phone, how can I call you?
So unfortunately, that's hurting your prior argument of giving them a phone. But she figured it out. She was like, okay, yeah. So she gave me a phone. I had like 500 minutes, no texting, no data. It was just a phone. It was a fucking Nokia brick. Yeah, mine was a Kyocera brick. I had a Virgin Mobile, and if you've ever way back, and I think Virgin Mobile still exists, but back in the day when it started, when you put like minutes on a Virgin Mobile phone, you got a dollar amount. Like it's a $20 card, and it was back when phones billed by the minute in a dollar amount.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like the first 10 minutes of the day was 25 cents a minute. And then it was 10 cents a minute after that. And I think I had free after 9. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I remember, but it was, this was back when they had like the color, like when everybody had different changing face plates and you light up antennas and like the gadgets up the ass for your cell phone.
Yeah.
You could change out the numbers on your phone because your phone actually had fucking buttons.
Yeah.
But that's what, I had that phone. God, I had that phone for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I actually got a contract, and to this day, and I'm just gonna this is almost bragging rights for me. After that phone, and I got my first grown-up cell phone contract and my very first phone all by myself, I still, to this day, have the exact same number I had since I was 18.
Nice.
Yeah. We have moved a few times. We moved 2 states. I still have my South Texas same phone number since I was 18.
My little sister has my same phone number from my first phone plan because they took over my phone plan when we got married.
Yeah, and we got you on my phone plan.
Yeah.
But you haven't changed your number since we got married.
No. And my little sister has my old phone number. But I'm not saying, that's what we're going to do to our kids and, give them like the little 5-button phone or whatever.
No, yeah.
I'm still like, I think a prepaid is a pretty good idea because I don't want them getting a phone on our plan and going crazy with it.
They get a prepaid phone I always felt like having a prepaid phone, for me was like a responsibility thing.
Mm-hmm. Because you have to stay within your limit.
Yeah, I was straight up responsible. Like when I got that phone, I was straight up responsible for the use of my minutes and how do I have the money to put more time on my phone? Mm-hmm. Now straight up, I never, like text messages were like 25 cents a piece.
Yeah, I know. I got in trouble for texting when I was on my grandma's plan, which is why I got my own plan.
Yeah. But, back then I didn't, like I'll straight up say it, I didn't have friends. I had a friend. And I talked to like I made work phone calls. That was about it. It was like if it was like an emergency thing, like we had a landline, hell, we had 2 landlines at home. Like we had a private line because this was pre-DSL. We had dial-up AOL internet in our house. So we had a designated phone line
Ooh, we didn't.
Yeah. We had we went
you
to
were fancy, huh?
No, it was very much that, back in, because way back in the 90s, because we had Windows 98, we got we had the same computer from when I was in the 8th grade, when we first got our very first computer, all the way through high school. I took that computer when I moved out of my parents' house.
Nice.
Yeah.
The only computer that has ever existed at my dad's house, outside of my stepmom's like school issued laptop, was that one that was like this huge fucking IBM thing.
It's like an Apple II.
Pretty much. That was like MS-DOS. You had to type in the startup commands and
it uses like the 7-inch floppy disk or some shit like that. And back when floppy disks, A, were used, B, were actually floppy.
Yeah, no, that was the only kind of computer that we had. So whenever I had to write up a school paper or whatever, I had to do it at the library.
Yeah. I could type it. I could type up a thing.
I could if I wanted to use the typewriter, but that's
I still have a typewriter. I don't think they make. I need ink and I need a new. I need the entire thing worked over.
Ours worked, but dear God, it was fucking painful to sit there and write an essay on the typewriter.
But you think we got background noise now with a fan? If I had my typewriter going, you could hear it next door.
Jeez. But I think it's fair nowadays to let your kids do that. And I don't think that a 2-hour limit is really fair.
You just have to set, if your kid doesn't have their own device all the time, they're not sitting there plugged into, like, if you go to the store and you give your kid your phone to play on while you're shopping, to keep them calm and entertained while you're shopping, is fine. I don't think it's okay for them to have their own device for you to take away.
Yeah. Not when they're as young as they are.
Yeah.
Maybe, like I said, when they get older, but I really don't.
I don't think the boys need a cell phone before 8th grade.
No, and
especially if they're not in anything. If they're not in any after school activity or something outside activity where they might need contact.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. Like when I was in school, cell phones were 100% prohibited. You were not allowed to have a cell phone in school.
Yeah, they're not now.
And now they allow it. And now they're like, hey, put your phone away in class. They don't sit there and take up your phone because you were texting in class. They tell you to put it away.
Yeah. Which...
Like, it's, no, take the fucking phone up. Send it to the damn principal's office and say you can get it back Friday. Pay attention
at the end of the day.
No, fuck the Friday. You can pay it, like, that's your punishment for not paying attention in school.
But...
Sorry. Sidebar. Pay attention in school, kids.
I don't think that kids need their own smartphone.
No.
Like I said, when we get the boys their own phone, it's probably going to be just a cheapy little flip phone.
Yeah.
That doesn't do anything but call or maybe text.
Yeah.
Because I hate...
Everybody texts now. It is, like, realistically, everybody texts. So
I hate the idea of them coming home and sitting on the couch with headphones in, watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Like, that is absolutely not going to happen.
Yeah.
There will be family time. If we are all watching TV, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But you will be in the moment, engaged with the rest of the family.
Yeah.
If you want to be in your room by yourself, reading a book, taking a nap, whatever.
Yeah.
Go do that. But I'm not going to have a kid with headphones in watching YouTube or whatever. Yeah. Not happening.
Like, you cannot be plugged into a device all the time.
No, and I think it's super disrespectful. It goes the same for
adults. I don't think adults should be so fucking plugged in all the time either.
No.
Like, and I will admit, like, yeah, we both do spend a good chunk of time sitting there on, like, going through, not even interacting. We sit there and, like, cruise social media. We just kind of browse through, but we don't disengage from the family.
We don't exclude, and we don't even exclude each other, because we're like, oh, hey, did you see this one? And we'll show each other the story or whatever on our phone that we're scrolling through, but we don't disengage, we don't exclude people. I hate when people come over, or you go to these family events or whatever, and everybody's just on their phone. Like, what is the fucking point of being here?
I think every comedian out there right now has a story of sitting in a restaurant and you look at a table and you see 5 people sitting at a table at a wherever, all looking at their phones.
I make it a point when you and I go out on a date to have my phone on the table so that I can check in on the boys. But I don't check on my phone.
Yeah,
otherwise.
we have our phones, like, out. Almost like, as a matter of, if I were to try and check my phone, I'd be guilty about it because I'd have to straight up reach for it.
Yeah.
Like, we are here to be together on a date. We're here for, personal interaction, not to be sitting there on our damn phones.
Exactly.
And just like, go out and take your kids out to dinner because, I don't care if you're going to McDonald's. You went there as a family, right? You went there for whatever. You're there for a reason.
Be with each other.
Be with each other. That's the moral of the story. Be people. Be humans. Because we are getting. That wasn't a bug joke. Be people. Be humans. We're turning shit into the Matrix. We're depending on the computers
for everything.
And yes, I'm all gung-ho technology and fun geeky nerd stuff because I'm a fun geeky nerd guy. I love all that shit. But you still gotta be a person, be a family, because people are getting too attached to their devices.
Yeah.
The fact that there is now a psychological disorder for detachment from your device that is recognized by the damn medical community tells you that people are becoming too attached to their devices. And just
sad. Well, and the boys don't even really have...
They don't have any devices.
They have maybe a game, I think, that's theirs. Do we have that Sesame Street something game?
For the Xbox? We have that. It's like an Elmo game, but it fried, so we don't use it.
Oh, well, we had a game for them.
We had a game. The disc got scratched. And
they don't have their own games or anything. They know how to work the Xbox.
There were some of our games that were friendly enough.
Yeah, like my Just Dance game. They would play the Just Dance or whatever.
And they'd play Mario.
And when we had the Wii,
like Wii
we'd let them play like Wii Sports and stuff. Which, that's fine, but, they were severely
limited on time.
They would get like 30 minutes that they could play, and that was it.
And this was a severe reward.
Oh yeah, they had to be like angelic for the day.
To the point where they've actually straight up lost that privilege.
Oh, it's gone.
That's not even on the board anymore.
Yeah, no. The Wii is gone.
Yeah.
I don't even know where it is, to be honest with you.
It's in a box in the garage right now. That's where it is.
But I don't like it. I know that some of the stuff is learning, and like there's the VTech and Leapfrog technology that's out there. Like they have their little Leap Top or whatever. And you and I even talked about the other day, or maybe it was today, that we should really put batteries in the Leap Top for Damien.
This morning,
because he is going to be starting school, not this fall, but next fall. And it would be good for him to kind of have that
numbers
learning.
And letters and things.
Yeah.
Because that's what they need. They don't need a Google-enabled smartphone. They need something that is going to teach them their letters, their numbers, sounds, animals. They need to colors, shapes. They need to know these things.
Yeah.
Those are basic human knowledge that your kid needs to have. They do not need to know how to hack their iPhone before kindergarten.
No, they don't.
Your kid shouldn't have an iPhone before kindergarten.
But I'm glad that you and I at least agree on this, because that's going to make it a lot easier when they're older. But
like, I'm probably, when it comes to the devices thing, I probably am the more, and in the general screen time, I'm probably the more lax. I'm cool with them watching TV, and we sit there and we have the TV on all day, even if we aren't necessarily watching anything.
I was going to say, the TV stays on. They don't sit still long enough to watch an episode.
No, they don't.
Of anything.
Yeah. They're usually running around and in their room playing with cars and trucks and Legos and whatever the hell those stupid little block thingies are that they're always building weird shit with.
I fucking don't know.
I hate those things as an annoying toy. Like every parent in the world hates Legos because if you step on them, then you want to die.
Your foot just falls off, and it's just how it is.
You want to cut your foot off. If you just stepped on a Lego, you want to cut your foot off and feel better. But painful. But at the same time, these are a little toy that they love to play with that forces them to be creative. They are sitting there on their own, they constructed glasses.
Yeah,
well, and
Damien,
walking around
what did
like
he make
goggles
today?
Out of these toys.
Damien made, and we'll have to probably post a picture of whatever these little doodads are. They're just like little connector.
Yeah, they're like
things. Like little circles and shapes that all connect whatever. And he made like a magnifying glass.
Or whatever the hell it was,
That, he had a circle one at the top, and it had a stem that it was attached to, that he was like running around and like looking at stuff and, just being a goof, but being creative and having to use that creativity and having to build stuff out of their Legos. Like, look, I made a car, and look, this one looks like a fire truck, and there's somebody riding it, and...
Hey, I made a hammer like Thor.
Yeah, well...
Hey, he still did it.
Or they'll take the pillows off of the couch in the front room and
make a fort.
They make a house.
I love that. I totally have gotten to the point where, you're going to make a fort out of couch cushions? Great, make a fort out of couch cushions. I'll even tell you some tips that I know from how to make forts out of couch cushions.
Here's an extra blanket.
Here's a blanket. Here, I'll let you take every couch cushion off.
Mm-hmm.
put them back when you're done.
Yeah.
That way, we were allowed to close off rooms. Our parents, like mom and dad straight up let us take the couch cushions off the couches, stack them in the doorway to block off the room and make like the entire room this huge couch fort.
Nice.
The only way in or out, you'd had to spider walk up the doorway and over the couch cushions. Yeah. We got.
That's not happening.
Yeah, I know. We don't have doorways that can do that.
I also, a lot of, I can already.
It was creativity.
I can already hear the listenership going, well, what about letting them play outside? We live in Arizona. Fuck you. It's hot. Okay.
They get to play outside, but it is, especially right now, it's July in Arizona. It is dangerously
8:33 at night, and it is 103 degrees outside.
It is actually dangerous to be outside.
It is actually dangerous to be outside.
For a 4-6-year-old to be outside. It is physically dangerous. They can't be outside for very long at all.
No, they can't.
And so
we keep them inside, and
at the same
it's
time,
not like
the entire issue here is a thing where the kids that were sitting there on their damn tablets and whatever all the time aren't going outside.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gung ho, go outside, and I'm perfectly fine. Like, if the conditions are all right, go outside. Our new house, we've only been here a couple of months. We don't have grass in the backyard right now.
Yeah.
The backyard is it's not a good place for them to go and play. And we realistically live far enough away that it is a bit of a chore to get to a place for the boys to play.
There's a park right around the corner.
Yeah, but it's up around there, and it is quite a chore to load up 4 kids.
Well, yeah, it's a drive. It's not a walk.
It's a drive. It's not a walk, especially in this heat.
Yeah.
And wrangling because of the ages, it does make it very difficult. It's like if it were just Damien and Charlie, easy. I could let them play. I could sit on a bench and watch them play. Mm-hmm. Bug, it makes things difficult. But
and then add Sam to the equation.
Add Sam, yeah, it's like. And I had done that before where, yeah, I had Damien and Charlie and I have Bug in the stroller. I'd be with him or whatever and playing, and I could hand them and I could watch the older 2 and they're fine. It's like, call them, hey, where are you? It's like, oh, I'm right here. Okay, fine. Mm-hmm. And I've got Bug and we're fine. But I have to stay with Sam.
Yeah. Well, and maybe that's something that we can look into, getting like a carrier.
A gazebo.
No, well, yeah, or just getting something for the backyard.
Yeah.
I'm not all for baby wearing.
No.
But Sam is little. So he is still wearable if we decided to go that route.
I'm not wearing the baby. I'm not wearing the baby.
I don't do baby wearing. It's just, I don't know.
I don't need those, is it Ryan, what's it? Deadpool. He got like all this like Twitter, internet backlash because he posted a video of him with his daughter in a carrier, and apparently he was wearing it wrong. And like the internet exploded saying, "Oh, you're hurting your child." And it's like, really? I wasn't strangling her or anything. She may have been in a not the exact recommended prescribed positions. Like,
because she was probably in like a Moby or something, right?
I don't know what the fuck.
One of the wraps.
No, it was like a kid hanging out, like her legs are supposed to be like, I don't know. It was
probably a wrap.
It was like a big backpacky thing, and kids on the front, and legs were sticking out, but I think like the legs weren't in the right position. They should have been further out or some crap like this. Like, either way, yeah, internet, way, stop bitching. Whatever. We don't like wearing our kids. I will walk I will hold their hands. I will carry them in my arms. I'm not wearing my damn kid.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'm glad that we at least agree on that topic. So, be interesting. Listenership. That's what I'm calling you guys. I don't care what you are.
Hey, you, Dave.
If there is a Dave. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Dave. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Dave.
Well, they say, and it's because I'm a nerd and I listen to the industry news. They say you should talk to your audience as if you were just talking to one person, so it personalizes the conversation.
So Dave.
Yeah, so Dave.
How you doing?
The entire audience. You are now Dave.
If you have an opinion on this, or if you have, what works for you, we'd love to hear it. Yeah. Obviously, we're not, I'm not saying that I'm an expert at this. I'm an expert up to age 6 with my kid.
Yeah. No, I realize that we sound like really critical and really judgy. It's no, because we're snarky. We're not judgy,
this is
we're
all
snarky.
sarcasm.
Yeah. We're not judgy, we're snarky.
No. I'm
Okay.
judgy.
You're judgy.
I will judge you all day long.
But
say it to your face. I'm gonna judge you. But I'd still like to know your opinion.
yeah. We are not the closed-minded people, which unfortunately, and I hate to say it, a lot of the people who get like get all crazy, super defensive of the maximum 2 hours of screen time people. Those people are critical as shit and judgy as shit, and they sit there and tell you you're a bad parent if your kid is around an electronic device for more than 2 hours a day. Mm-hmm. Those people, and I hate to drag her ass back through this. What is Paltrow? Those kind of people. Those are the judge. They're very close-minded about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But we're not those people.
I'm not.
We have strong opinions on these kind of subjects. Mm-hmm. And again, we're shitty millennials.
Very.
But
and for the most part, you got to keep in mind, guys, that this is a parenting show, but a lot of this is how we plan to parent, because we've only succeeded in parenting up to age 6 at this point.
He's still got a couple of more weeks till he hits that 7. Things could go completely sideways.
Yeah, right?
Fail boats are coming. You don't know.
We're on a good track right now. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? So, I mean, we've got 4 kids. We've got ages 1 to 6 down with our kids.
Yeah.
I couldn't possibly raise your 4-year-old the same way that I'm raising my 4-year-old.
And oh God, I hope you don't have to raise our 4-year-old. I wish that upon nobody.
It'd be funny though.
Good luck with that Star Fox. Good luck.
We know people who are like, oh, I'm like super parent and I can totally handle it. Okay.
Good luck.
Good luck. That's why I tell people at work, like the girl that sits next to me, Sammy, she sits next to me at work. She's like, yeah, we're wanting to have kids and like maybe the next 9 months to a year. I'm like, okay, well, you want to like test run with mine? Pick an age. What age do you want? I've got it.
Yeah.
So, like if this is what you really want, like let me show you the worst, because they're over there.
We've got a broad spectrum of personalities for you to choose from.
Yeah. Like if you need a test
run. You want
run,
an intelligent smartass? We got one of those.
If you need a test run, just let me know. I got you covered.
Yeah.
Do you want
pick an age and a personality, and we got it.
Do you want an easy route? Do you want to see what it's like to raise a really, really difficult one? Do you want a lot at one time? What do you want?
We'll give you the package deal, and you can take the 3 older ones.
Right? Oh man, that'd be hilarious. Rent out our kids. No, that's terrible. We're not doing that. Don't call people on us, please.
Rent out our kids as an educational tool.
No, that sounds even worse.
It's parenting class the hard way.
Oh God!
This is the ideal parenting class. What are we going to do? We're going to give you a bunch of kids, figure shit out.
Yeah, good luck.
Because you know what? That's what parenting is.
Pretty much.
You get a kid and you figure it out. Because there's no book you can read. There is no.
I'm sorry, but I've read that What to Expect When You're Expecting. Fuck that. I've read the What to Expect the First Years, and I've read all the mom blogs that are so sugar coated.
To be fair, the What to Expect is what to expect, not what's going to happen.
No,
it's a primer. As here's some shit that could happen. Yeah. So I will defend that book series on principle.
But
because they give you an idea of things.
Every mom blog that's out there and that has been suggested to me from friends and family and coworkers and whatever, it's so sugar-coated.
Everything that they have, they want to sugar-coat it.
So sparkly and covered in glitter that they're idealists. They are idealists. You can see right through it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to hear about the nitty-gritty. I want to hear about how you get so close to just fucking walking out the door, but something stops you. Like, that's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear this. We woke up in the morning and we all made pancakes and then we loaded the dishwasher and we all laid down and took a nice nap. And then when we woke up, the boys helped me scrub the floors. Like, that shit doesn't happen.
Yeah. There are cases timeout doesn't work. There are cases, like some kids' timeout doesn't work. Some kids' timeout's perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. Some kids, giving them a bag of Cheerios is the best reward in the world. Some kids want your laptop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some kids hack your laptop.
Yeah. Or like,
every single kid is completely different. Even your own. Exactly. Even when you feel like you did everything exactly the same way, every single person in this world is different. And every single person has to be taken on a separate individual basis. And I don't care what the fuck book you wrote. I don't care how many weeks it was on the New York Times bestseller list. It isn't about my kid. Exactly. And it's not about kid number 2. It's not about my kid number 3. Even if it fit kid number 1, it doesn't mean shit. So,
yeah,
you got to take your kid and your life and your views and your everything and this, and you don't even have to listen to us on this as far as our opinions. This is our opinion. This is what we do here. We share our opinion and our views and our experiences. And maybe you fit along with it and you're like, hey, I totally get that. I want to listen to those guys. I should tell my friends about them and tell them to subscribe on iTunes.
Where's that applause button?
I know. I was like, fantastic. Yeah, I can't believe I swung fantastic. That one.
But I think that's the whole point that we're trying to get at, is that we're not trying to be those preachy, this is how you need to do it. No, we started this podcast because every single day we would have people ask us, holy shit, how do you do it? Holy shit, how do you do it? You've got 4 kids. I can't even manage with 1. How do you do it? Yeah. That is exactly why we started this podcast. This is how we do it. Yeah. There's a lot of duct tape involved.
I shouldn't say that. I had a cousin who used to use duct tape as a punishment.
Oh, no, not like that. Like, there's duct tape holding shit together, not like restraining our children. Yeah. Although I will say, it was kind of funny. We have a toilet situation going on right now where the 4-year-old stuck something down the toilet that the thingy that holds the toilet paper, the little springy thingy. I don't know what it's called, but it's a little springy thingy that holds your toilet paper.
I just call it the toilet paper holder.
Whatever.
The rod.
That is stuck in the U-bend of our toilet. And I called my dad the other day. I was like, hey, how do I fix this? He was like, well, first thing I would do is chain the 4-year-old to something else. Like, well.
Didn't even have to say. He knew who did it. Like, he knew who did it without us saying.
It was the 4-year-old, and I'm not going to chain him up, although the thought did cross my mind.
Yep. I was supposed to fix that today.
Oh, well.
I was supposed to fix that several Sundays in a row.
There's always next weekend.
There's always next weekend.
But that's why we started this podcast, this is how we do it. These are our opinions.
How we do it.
Stop that.
Sorry.
These are our opinions. And if you're on board, great. If you're not, tell us. Tell us why you're not. Tell us what works for you.
Sure. We'd love to hear your stories.
I'd love to include your stories in the show. Let's help each other.
Yeah, we do this because this is what we do and this is what we experience. And we've got some funny stories and we got some great kids and we have some... we're sharing our experiences. And I think, it's just our version of It Takes a Village.
Yeah, even though I don't like the It Takes Village.
This is the closest we're getting to that damn village.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
you are our village people.
YMCA.
Stop that.
There's too many musical references right now.
Oh gosh. Okay, so do you have a moment of the week or shit you shouldn't have to say in the house? I don't know,
right now I've got the village people stuck in my head.
Oh, good lord. I think the only thing that I have is a shit I shouldn't have to say in the house. And it was yesterday, the boys were playing, and for whatever reason, I look over and Charlie's laying one way on the couch, Damien's laying another way, and...
We have a sectional,
We have a sectional. And I can't believe I had to tell them this, but please stop touching your brother's butt and let him watch TV.
Oh, I was totally thinking it was going to be something that happened when I wasn't home. Yeah, I heard that one.
Yeah, no, you were here.
Yeah.
I don't know, he was just touching his butt. Like, I don't know if it was just that's the way the cookie crumbled or what, but... I'd stop asking why.
I hate to have to defend their actions. I hate to have to defend their actions, but unfortunately, that's one of those cases, and I hate using the excuse, and I know you hate hearing it. This is a case of boys being boys.
No, they weren't. They were just laying there watching TV, and
Boys
I think that's
boys just have this thing, especially young boys, until they hit puberty. Totally. Until boys hit puberty, they have this obsession with physical contact with other guys' nether regions.
No, I don't think that's it at all. I don't think that's it at all. I think it was just that's how they were laying, and so that was a comfortable spot to rest his arm.
Oh, okay. I totally thought this was like he was sitting there smacking his brothers. I heard it. I didn't witness it.
No, he was just laying kind of weirdly on top of Charlie with his hand on his butt. And I just think that that's just kind of where he positioned himself.
He just happened to have his hand. Okay.
Yeah.
I totally thought this was like
no,
he was
I get the whole little boys are kind of obsessed with their body parts. My little brother slept with his thingy in his hand. I'm pretty sure he still sleeps with his thingy in his hand. But I think that's just a little boy thing. I don't know. Yeah. It's like your security blanket. You got to make sure that nobody's going to mess with it. It's not going to go anywhere. I don't know. I don't have one.
Yeah. And you don't care to learn. You've got 4 boys. You don't care to learn. You ask me.
That's why you're here.
You ask me questions that I figure you would have figured out by now having 4 boys. Sheltered. But I'm like, it's like, does it like this or this or really? You didn't figure that out by now?
I was a good girl.
Does this look right to you? I don't know. You've seen all of them, really?
I've seen theirs.
You've got 4 or 5 examples to compare here.
Those are the only ones that I've seen.
Anyway.
Oh, God. Let's not go there.
But, I guess I have a fun, I wouldn't say it's a fun story of, and it's another case of boys being boys, and I unfortunately have to say boys being boys with the caveat of boys being rowdy and don't care what they do to each other.
I know where this is going.
I will straight up say our boys have this problem with looking where they're going. I mean,
yes, they do.
We've got the old story of Damien walking headfirst into the entertainment center.
Running. Full force.
Running full force from the other room straight into the entertainment center. It's only 7 feet.
He bounced off of it.
It's only a 7-foot tall chunk of wood that's lived in the same spot forever. But no, on the same note of not looking where you're going, Charlie pretty much just straight up walked into his brother and you know, one of those cases where you hit somebody and you're the only one that got hurt out of it? This is basically what happens. Charlie, not looking where he's going, walks straight into Damien. Like, basically smashed his own eye on his brother's head.
And now has a black eye.
And Damien was completely unscathed. Because, as much as, like, I will say, I've got a hard head. They all got my hard head. That doesn't keep you from getting a black eye. You might be able to take a book to the cranium, but you're still going to get a black eye if you get punched. So.
Yeah.
To be fair, Damien could have a black eye. He's got kind of bags. It's hard to tell.
It's true. But yeah, let's get a black eye. It's not like school's starting soon or anything.
I know. It's like,
great.
It looks terrible. Just the injuries that our the injuries that boys do to themselves. And I'm going to say boys because I did it. My brothers did it. We would, back in the day, if they cared, we would have gone to school with some questionable injuries. Just shit we did to ourselves.
I mean, it's bad enough that Damien has bruises all over his legs and his arms just from the shit he does to himself. Like jumping off the couch and jumping off the chairs and jumping off the table and
I'm going to throw
jumps off of anything.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to throw a tantrum and I'm going to kick something and bruise the shit out of my leg. Mm-hmm. 4-year-old.
He's got legs up and down his legs. He's got bruises.
I've got legs.
Got legs. He's got bruises up and down his legs that are going to look horrible enough.
I know.
Like, I don't need the other one going to school with a black eye.
Yeah. What happened? I ran into my brother. There's no excuse you can ever give for an unwitnessed black eye.
Yeah.
It's like they did an entire episode of King of the Hill about that. It's like his kid took a baseball to the face.
Jeez.
Next thing you know, somebody called CPS on him, and
Exactly.
they tried to take his kid away.
Exactly. This is the shit that we deal with, y'all.
An unwitnessed black eye is suddenly. I feel like we almost have to report on the kid's injuries here. Like, this is our internet documentation of our kids' injuries this week.
Jeez.
But
So, c'est la vie at the Higgins house.
yep. Any last words this week, dear?
Nah.
Nah. So, I do have one thing I want to mention, and I didn't tell you about this. I don't know if you saw. Because we were sitting here kind of ripping on mommy blogs. I did, in fact, find a mommy blog that is more up our alley.
Oh?
It's called, it's My Kind of Parenting. And this is literally a mom who basically kind of tells the same kind of stories we do. One of her most recent posts on her Facebook page was basically her cursing Thomas the Tank Engine and all of his expletive deleted friends, as with an included picture of her having to pull a Thomas the Tank Engine out of her hair.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
So, and I think she's got 2 kids, I believe. It's been a minute since I looked. But yeah, I've gotten a kick out of reading some of her stories. I'm like, fuck, we almost need to get her on this show, because she's totally in our vein.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
So that's cool. If you want to find a mommy blog that's more in our tone, that's a good place to check out.
Yeah. You should also check out,
what's happening with the NewMan. And yeah, this is my buddy Mark's podcast, and fair warning, he's Australian. He's Northern Australian. He's self-described mad scientist. He's
cool though. I like his stuff.
He's really funny.
He's very open and honest about everything, like we are. So I really like watching his videos and stuff.
Yeah,
It's so funny.
he's all over the place when it comes to stuff on his show, because he's like, he has gardens, and it's really funny because he records out in the open, out in the wild. So he'll be like working in his garden.
It's Australia. That's dangerous.
Yeah, I know.
There's things there that'll kill you.
I know. Australia will kill you.
But it's
really fun to listen to, like the days where he's in the garden, because he's got animals. He's got chickens. And if he's out in the garden, you are going to hear his chickens the whole time.
That's funny.
But it's great because it's a realness, and it's like the realness, and that's what I love about his show, is that it's that same realness you're getting from us. There is no bullshit here.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no bullshit from him. But I will admit his accent is a little tough to get through sometimes. But it doesn't matter if you can hear him or not. It's still funny. So one of his more recent.
I'm sure our accent to him is hard to get through. I say y'all all the time.
Yeah. But I love that when we came back from our most recent trip, that he actually, as we were having car trouble on our road trip, he was having car trouble on his trip. I was like, I
think we're just a jinx.
Yeah. But yeah.
But
cool
check
show.
them out.
Yeah, check him out.
Don't forget to, I don't know, what's the follow, subscribe.
The, because I rate and review and subscribe on iTunes. All the
What are
those things. This is what happens when we don't write any notes for the week. No
Rate,
writing.
review, subscribe.
Tell your friends.
Tell your family.
Tell the random guy on the bus next to you.
Don't do that. Jesus. Please don't listen to my husband.
Change.org petition. Make the president listen to us.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. You know what? Because 25,000 signatures on change.org, they have to respond. To be fair, if we had 25,000 signatures telling them to listen to our show, why the fuck aren't you already listening?
Right? anything there.
25,000 people telling anybody to listen to our show, and you're not all listening too. We'd be getting paid at that point.
Right? But, anywho, signing off for this week. I think we'll call it a show here, y'all.
Yeah. So, full show notes, not that we have much. Show notes, and and if we get it, realistically, most everything you're going to find is going to be on the Facebook page.
For show.
So that's facebook.com/momanddadcuss, if I don't have that backwards. But, because, yeah, there's the webpage, but realistically, there's more interaction on the Facebook page.
You can also email me at momanddadcuss@gmail.com.
Yeah.
That's probably an easier one. I mean, everything goes right to my phone, and I'm going to answer you.
Yep. Hit us up on Facebook or the email, and because it'll go straight to your phone.
Yep. Find us. Do stuff.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
And until next week,
I'm Rhea.
I am Adam.
Good night.
Good night.